This is a video of patterns of triangles and optical movement.
Yes. This series of designs, this series of exercises I've been doing off and on for years, in which I have triangles of the shapes are all balanced, and I build up the surface with black triangles on a white page, and at the one at the bottom, white triangles and black triangles on a gray page, so that the whole thing is seen as a unified surface. And that allows your eyes to move around within the composition and see how the whole thing functions together.
How would you suggest a viewer do that? What would they do with their eyes to see the patterns?
To be able to see the patterns move, to see the patterns move, it helps for a person to actually, with their own hands and their own eyes, create one of these things, because then our eyes, it works, functions.
So when you have a workshop, your students or attendees will be using these triangles and gluing them, and as they do that, they see the movement. But I actually can see the movement if I choose to explore the collage with my eyes. So talk more about that, and what is the value for an artist or an individual who appreciates art?
All right, what I believe that we can't look at anything without trying to make sense of it. This also utilizes the principle of stereoscopic vision. You have two eyes creating parallel images that are processed in the mind. And when the entire space is filled up with a similar type of pattern, it creates a scenario where it starts to move around because it kind of interrupts itself. It's logical and it's not logical. It has unity and it has variety. And when you have those two variables together, our minds try to make sense of it. And as we try to make sense of it, it moves.
And so this means that it becomes more visually interesting and more like an experience for the viewer.
Exactly. And it's when I work on them, I'm applying them, I'm taking them off, I'm putting other triangles down to cover up where maybe glue marks kind of were covered on the surface. It's not one direct shot. It's a series of attempts to try to create a unified composition.
And how do you know it's unified and how do you know it's done?
Well, you can keep working on these for long periods of time, but essentially it becomes unified, for me at least, when it starts to move around to a certain degree and I actually see the black triangle areas turn into white, and they kind of flicker in the eye because your eyes are absorbing both of them at once.
So you would recommend viewers interested in this experiment themselves with the triangle exercise?
Absolutely.